Okay, so here's the one thing that I absolutely love and really just about sold me on liking this one better. Welcome to DadBod Fitness. If you and I are just meeting, my name is David and I help crazy busy dads and moms to build a physique. If you want to maximize your muscle growth, strip the body fat, and transform your life, all while still managing your family, consider subscribing. So the Etekcity Kitchen Food Scale or the Greater Goods Kitchen Food Scale, if you're trying to decide which one should you go with. All right, now the Greater Goods Kitchen Food Scale, I actually have another video that I did reviewing just this one. I'll put the link for that right up here if you want to go ahead and check that out. Now this is one that I've had for a couple of years now. It's actually held up pretty well. I don't know if you can see. I mean, the stainless steel has definitely worn away for sure, but I'll show you what it used to look like as well. This one has the zero out and power function, 2 buttons, the zero out power function and the unit button as well. With the Etekcity, the same type of thing. This one is fairly new. I've been only using it a couple weeks or so. Power button and what they call the tear function, the tear button, as well as the unit button. So both have 2 buttons as well. They operate fairly the same. So obviously the power turns it on. Same thing for the Greater Goods as well. That power button is called the zero button, or on this one, the Etekcity, it's called the tear function. Both of those do the same thing. On the Greater Goods scale, you hold that zero button down and it'll zero it out. So let's say you put a bowl on the scale and then you want to weigh just the contents. You zero it out, hold down the zero button, it'll go down to 0, then you can put the contents in. So same idea for this one, except this one, these are actually touch buttons. This one, you actually just have to touch it after turning it on, put something on the scale, the scale will jump up, press, you just touch the button, it'll zero back out. Then you can put your contents in. So that I do really like about the Etekcity. But essentially the functions are the same. And then they also have the unit button where it cycles through the different units. To cycle through milliliters, grams, ounces, all that kind of stuff. Now, both of them, the stainless steel, I just really like that look, that stainless steel look. Both of them look really great. They look very clean and sleek, and they fit really easily into any cupboard or any spare little side thing. As far as sizing, the one downside about the Etekcity is the size of this one is actually just slightly smaller. I mean, you can even see it's mostly just the rounded edges, but sometimes it is nice to have that little bit extra space. So this one is a little bit wider. As far as their thickness, they're really about the same. Now, when I opened up the Etekcity, one of the first things that bummed me out right away was that it had no replaceable batteries. Now, that is until I turned around and noticed that the batteries are AAAs, so very easy to come by. Still nice to have replacement batteries, but that's okay. These are more easy to replace. Now, the Greater Goods Kitchen Food Scale, the nice thing was that it came with 2 replaceable batteries, but the difference is that these have those little CR disc batteries. So that definitely makes a difference. I don't know, for me, sometimes it's harder to figure out which number of type of little disc battery that you have. So I did like the fact that this came with 2 extra additional batteries. Okay, so here's the one thing that I absolutely love and really just about sold me on liking this one better. And that is the fact that the Etekcity scale is touch button. Now, I know in our day and age, that's like nothing unusual, but both my wife and I have been enjoying the fact that it's touch button. You can very lightly touch it, and it cycles through. Like I don't, again, I'm like hardly touching it and it cycles through. That I do really like. I don't feel like I have to press things down. I like on the function, the tear function, I can just press it and it resets it to 0. So again, that's really nice. Another thing I really liked as well was the fact that it has an LED display screen, which again, not a big deal, it's just LED, but it is easier to see. It's easier to see the brighter numbers on a darker background. Now, nothing against necessarily the Greater Goods, but I think just aesthetically it looks better. It's a little more functional in the fact that it's easier to see. This one, it more just looks like a typical digital clock or something like that. If you are enjoying the video, would you do me a small favor and hit that like button? It'll really help to push these videos out to those who need to see them. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell as well so that you don't miss the upcoming videos. And so far, the only downside of the wear and tear of the Greater Goods food scale, so you'll see the little grippy touch pads on the bottom, 2 are missing. So these definitely have a tendency to fall off. Now, as far as the actual measurement units on the scale, I will say that the Etekcity probably has to win out here. It's got more options, and you'll see that when you cycle through, you can actually get milliliters for water and for milk, and then you'll get ounces as well. Then you'll have pounds and ounces, and then you have fluid ounces for water, fluid ounces for milk, and then of course you do have grams. So that actually gives gives you a few more options than the Greater Goods scale does. That you have pounds and ounces, you have grams, you have fluid ounces, and milliliters. So you get those different options, which is, it's kind of nice. I never had trouble per se with the Greater Goods, but I do like the versatility and the fact that there's more with the Etekcity. Now, both of them seem fairly accurate. You'll put something on it and the numbers actually go up. You'll see them go up to the right measurement. Sometimes it'll jump down, jump up, but for the most part, it sticks right to where it ends up landing. The interesting thing, and I would say the nice thing about the Etekcity, is when you first put something on there, it'll almost look like it's frozen for a second, but it's calculating and then immediately jumps to the right figure that you're looking to weigh. It doesn't have to bounce around. I don't think one is worse or better than the other. It's just something to be aware of. I kind of like the fact that you know immediately exactly what the measurement is on the Etekcity, but I honestly had no qualms or issues with the Greater Goods and the fact that it rolled up there. So again, as far as the functionality, I think I've mentioned this, but the tare function to be able to zero out the scale, I think works quite a bit better on the Etekcity than it does on the Greater Goods. Where on the Etekcity, you touch it and it drops down to zero. So I do like that. Now, of course, what you probably are wondering is the price. And here is actually another tally for the Etekcity, is that the Etekcity is actually a lot cheaper. Now, this Greater Goods scale was actually only $9.99 when I first got it. It's now almost $19 for the stainless steel. I think you can get different colors that are a little bit cheaper. It's a bestseller on Amazon. The reviews have skyrocketed since I've gotten it. This was like a no-name brand when I bought it. That's a downside, that this is almost $19 when you can, in my opinion, get at least equivalent, if not a little bit better, with the Etekcity for, I think this one was $13. It was like $12.95, $12.99, something like that. Links will be down in the description for both, but I definitely think this is gonna be the better bang for your buck. Although I do really like both. So once again, links are down in the description, but I would have to say, if I was to pick a winner between the two, I'm going with the Etekcity because it is cheaper, it has some extra features, and I like the functionality, love the touch button, and I like the LED screen. This is probably what I'd buy again. So if you're getting a food scale, then maybe you might possibly want to dial in your nutrition. And if you want to get set up on a nutrition and a training plan to start transforming your physique, click the link down in the description below, because I want to give you a full free program. It's going to be a complete guide to get you set up on your nutrition and your training. Once again, link is down in the description. And if you wouldn't mind tapping that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell as well so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. To see that full review that I did about the Greater Goods kitchen food scale, click or tap the link right over here. Or for another video, click or tap the screen that's been queued up for you right up over here. And as always, be intentional, bring the intensity, and I cannot wait to see you on the next video.